Oh my gosh, guys, we have some interesting news to cover today. Shelby American has responded to the hate on the new S650 Mustang Shelby GT350 as well as GT350R. We are going to be reading the Facebook post, and as always, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. If you guys enjoy these types of videos where I go over news and updates revolving around Mustangs or automotive in general, feel free, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications to stay up to date. A lot is happening. These last couple of weeks have been crazy. Now, we are in the Team Shelby Club official group. I'm actually still waiting to be approved. I'm probably going to get declined in all reality. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here. Reminder, this is a friendly reminder to be respectful to others on the Team Shelby social media accounts. Hateful speech, nasty comments, and personal punches has no place here. It is okay to disagree, be disappointed, or have a different opinion. However, it is not okay to be angry and hurtful. No one is allowed to slam a fellow member, their event, or even their vehicle of choice in our digital yard. They're talking about the Facebook page as well as obviously the social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and whatnot. That also extends to the men and women at Shelby American, as well as the vehicles they build. So essentially what happened was when they revealed the new S650, GT350, and GT350R, they were met with a lot of hate. People were adamant on making themselves clear that they were not happy with, they were not approving essentially them modifying a stock S650 or premium S650 and, you know, calling it a GT350 and GT350R. Now, I think the general consensus knows that Shelby American is not Ford. They don't have the rights to go ahead and assemble a brand new long block, but at the same time, when you have a name like Shelby, you can't go ahead and assume everybody is going to know that. Again, it's common knowledge, but it isn't common knowledge. I understand that. My issue with it is that it does go ahead, in my personal opinion, again, I'm allowed to disagree and I'm allowed to voice my opinion because I'm a Mustang owner and I also own a Shelby GT350. I own a piece of history. I'm allowed to disagree and voice my opinion. I do think that it does stain the name when they're going ahead and essentially parts binning this vehicle. Now, ironically, sadly, some recent comments and posts have been devoid of common civility. It is surprising that people feel it is acceptable to call a vehicle from Shelby things like parts bin trash, a flop, or shit, and other profanity. Again, you can't really go ahead and say people can't say that when it quite literally is a parts bin car. You know what I'm saying? It is a parts bin car. There is no way to go ahead and say that it is not a parts bin car. It is a parts bin car. Because the difference between the S650 Shelby GT350 and the S550 Shelby GT350 is there was no way somebody with a base model 5.0 could have the powertrain of the Shelby GT350. If we're talking about the S550s, it just was not possible. It was not possible. And we have a name like Shelby attached to the car. You know, it's you can't go ahead and have things like that happen. Now, the issue that I feel like a lot of people have, and this is just my personal opinion, just being a car enthusiast and somebody who has quite literally had Mustangs for 9 years and climbed up the ropes. My first Mustang was a V6 New Edge, and then I went to a 4.62 valve, and then I jumped right up to a Shelby GT350, and then now I also have an S650 5.0 as well. when you have a vehicle like Shelby, it is like, you know, the ultimate goal that people want to go ahead and achieve. And when you can essentially create that with the base model, it destroys, I guess, the drive to better yourself, to excel at whatever your, you know, career you're in, to afford something like that when you could just create it with the base model, right? It's weird. It's really weird how they're trying to defend what the car is, but in the same way, it literally is a parts bin car. It was particularly troubling to hear people slam the team at Shelby as being lazy and losers. These mean-spirited comments will be removed and posters will be banned. Obviously, people are clowning Team Shelby because they, you know, essentially went ahead, and the whole consensus is they part binned a base model and a premium S650 GT. The uniformed comments are simply sad too. The Shelby team tenaciously researched every drivetrain option you can imagine, engine and transmission. They looked at every option available, and no Ford will not deliver the cars without engines. For those cursing Shelby American for not continuing the Voodoo engine, Ford discontinued it, and it's not certified for current production cars. Slamming Shelby for not using it is simply crazy, and no, they will not reopen production for a small run. For those who clamor a 5.8 Illuminator, that 25K crate engine is not certified for use in a street car. Installing that engine, certifying it for emissions, running it through DOT, etc., was estimated by an OEM expert to cost $40 million. Yes, you read the number right. Plus, it costs $2 million every year to recertify an engine for emissions. Doing so would have made the car about $200K minimum for a 3-year run. Now, here's the thing. I understand the emissions. I understand that it is difficult to go ahead and obviously make the vehicles with the drivetrain that we want. But at the same time, again, this kind of goes back to what I was previously talking about, the name, right? Because I feel like most people don't have like the wide grasp of what's going on, you know, behind closed doors with Shelby American, and also just Shelby as a name coming from Ford, or when it did come from Ford. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use the Corvette C7 Z06 as well as the Camaro Z01 as an example here. And I think this is a very good reason as to why people are up in arms and upset. Yes, the Z01 is not in production anymore, but this is going to be a reason why people are very upset about what's going on here with this new Shelby GT350 and GT350R. Because of the pricing of the S650 right now. The S650 is not a cheap car, right? It's not affordable. $50,000 is not affordable anymore for a sports car. You know, people cannot afford to jump into a $50,000 car. The reason why the Mustang in general blew up and was so popular is because it was an affordable sports car that your average Joe can get into if they were not making 6+ figures a year, right? Comfortably, you can get into that vehicle without making 6+ figures a year. And on top of that, it is widely known, and again, there's nothing wrong with this, it is widely known that you could take a base model S550 car and modify it and have it be faster than the top trim Mustang. That is fantastic for consumers. That's fantastic for enthusiasts, because you could essentially ball on a budget and build a car that offers the same, if not more, usually more performance than a Shelby GT500. But at the same time, it does not take away from the Shelby GT500 because it has a Shelby name and it has a different drivetrain, completely different drivetrain, sounds different, and overall different handling characteristics. Now, when you go ahead and look at the new Shelby GT350 and GT350R, it has the same exact drivetrain as the base model. It has the same exact interior as the base model, minus some badges, which is ridiculous in my personal opinion. And that's why people are upset and they're angry. Now, again, doubling back to the Z06 and the Z01. The Z7, Z06, and the Z01 have different drivetrains than the base model, Stingray, as well as the LT1 Camaro. And on top of that, the pricing. If you were to actually spec out a brand new 5.0, it is going to cost the same as a used Z01, and it could cost the same as a high mile C7 Z06. So if you're trying to capture a younger audience, because right now the people that are angry, that are upset, they're the younger audience. They're not the older guys. Those older guys, they've already had their fun going ahead and building up cars a decade ago. They're getting into something now that they can afford, that looks nice, that has heritage. They want to have a new car that has not been abused. Younger people, they'll go ahead and buy a car with 20, 30K miles. Older fellas, they're looking for the lowest mile car possible. They can go ahead and park in a garage and pass down to their kids, or sell and give that money to their kids or family. That's typically what older people are doing when they get in these cars. The younger audience, when they see that there's absolutely no reason to go ahead and strive to get to that higher trim car, they're going to bash on it. Because when you can go ahead and spend 60K for a GT, why not just go ahead and wait a year or two and save another 5 bands and get a Z01? Or save a little bit longer and get a C7 Z06. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, especially $200,000. Forget it. Forget it. Nobody's buying this for $200,000 except older people or people who have too much money that they don't care. Forget it. They spent an enormous amount of time and money to come up with a new car. During that time, the base Ford Mustang price increased and thus raised the price of the Shelby GT350. We all know this. In the end, Shelby American introduced a car with a host of upgrades, including new suspension components, way more power from a power plant, from a proven power plant. This doesn't mean anything because, you know, people have already made 1,000 with the Dark Horse. A new OEM level aluminum hood. Take a guess how much that would cost to build and certify, and many other upgrades. Again, this doesn't really matter because go ahead and get an Anderson's composite hood. Yes, it's not OEM, but you know, a lot of this stuff, I just feel like they're out of touch. You know what I'm saying? Like they're out of touch. Like this statement right here, again, I'm just voicing my opinions. You know, I'm not going after anybody. I'm just voicing my opinions as a car enthusiast and somebody that also has a Shelby GT350. New suspension. Again, new suspension components, way more power from a proven power plant. This doesn't mean anything. It just doesn't. And the hood doesn't mean anything. It is okay if, it's okay if you do not want it. It's okay if you feel disappointed. It's fine if you prefer your current vehicle, but it's not okay to be uncivil, hateful, disrespectful, or spew ridiculous statements as fact. Team Shelby members are better than that. We don't want to be defensive. We just ask that everyone be reasonable. Please treat everyone in the Shelby community with the same respect you deserve. Let me know what you guys think, man, about the response from Shelby American. Do you guys think that this is a good response? I mean, I understand the hate from the team members because obviously that should not be happening. At the end of the day, you know, you should not be going after somebody personally. This is just, you know, personal opinions toward a vehicle. I understand, you know, you're working on a car and people don't like it, but at the same time, you have to understand that the Shelby GT350, the Shelby name in general, it is such a prestigious name, and you know, people strive to get into a Shelby vehicle when there legitimately is no reason to strive to get into a Shelby vehicle. As of right now, if we're talking about a new S650, that's going to cause an uproar. And you just can't go ahead and say, look, guy, we don't know why you're doing this. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be happening. Y'all know exactly why this is happening. Y'all know exactly why this was happening. Now, I feel like this statement should have been made before the car released, explaining why they did what they did, instead of just going ahead and making it seem like they did some, you know, next level vehicle upgrade with the S650. That's what I personally believe they should have done. Because if they went ahead and just released this, hey guys, we can't do this because this and that, because they could have, because they just did. I feel like it would have went ahead and it would have went ahead and stopped a lot of the uproar. That's just my opinion. But let me know down in the comment section what y'all think, man. This is quite interesting, and I think Ford now definitely has to step it up when they do release the Boss Mustang. It has to be a knock out the park for sure.